guys, a lot of you have been asking me this over the past couple of months, and I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video on it. I'm not spending a ton of time on it, but here's the deal. You guys have been wondering what's better post-COVID, even though we're not really in post-COVID, we're now into Delta phase, but should I have an in-person hearing with the SSA? Should I have a video telephonic hearing with the SSA? Or should I have a telephonic hearing with the SSA? And the reality is that at this point, video telephonic and telephonic hearings are commonplace now. They're not a big deal. They're not like, wow, this is so cool. It's just not like that anymore. Now, everybody's kind of like rolled into it. They're used to it. They know how it works. Here's the bottom line with that stuff. I have a preference for, obviously in-person hearings are off the table, and we all know the reason, and that's, when you want to know what's going on with COVID, you follow the government. The SSA hasn't reopened yet. They're afraid, obviously, that their judges are going to be getting sick. They're afraid that their employees in general are going to be getting sick, but the judges especially, because they take so much time to train. A lot of them are older, etc. And a lot of them are disabled, because a lot of the disability judges fall into a plus point system when they're becoming administrative law judges or selected as one. If they have a disability, they actually get they're more likely to be picked. So the bottom line is this: you only have two options: video teleconference hearing and telephonic hearings. Video teleconference, it's like FaceTime. Telephonic, it's like you're just on the phone. My preference is this: if anybody looks particularly young, particularly healthy, particularly capable of working a job, I don't want a video teleconference hearing. And the reason I don't want a video teleconference hearing is that it is nearly impossible to get the base fundamental of an individual seeming and looking and being young to not in another person's mind be like, yeah, this person has the capacity to go do some job, even if it's a basic job. And remember, the standard is only, can they do a full-time job? Any job, in any state in the United States. So that's the standard. A lot of you guys are like, well, that's insulting because I used to be a da-da-da-da-da. They don't care about that. Because they know if you are really hurting for money, you will go get any job you can. You will work at McDonald's if you have to. And to be honest with you guys, there is a lot of ego out there. But like if I ever lost this job and I couldn't do this job or whatever happened and I had to go work at McDonald's, I'd go work at McDonald's. I'd probably get promoted pretty quickly. I'd probably be rewriting their books as to how it should be done, etc. But I'd go work at McDonald's. The reality of this thing is that unfortunately, I think there is a potential of a bias situation where an individual will go in front of a judge and, if they don't have that older, gravelly kind of voice, if they don't have the slow movements, if they, you know what I mean? If you don't have those and you're promoting the idea that you can't work, or you're promoting the idea that your impairments are intermittent, it's just better for you to go ahead and not be physically seen by the judge. You also get into the other issue, though. If you have like a really high-pitched voice and you sound like a younger individual and you're actually 58, then in that instance, do a video teleconference hearing. There's, unfortunately, this line where we're looking at trial tactics. How do we shape this claim to have the most likely success with going through and getting a fully favorable? And the problem is that we still have to deal with humans on every level of getting somebody found disabled. The judge's clerks, the judge, the person recording the hearing, the person that is the receptionist at the hearing office. All this stuff is just all part of a system, essentially, to understand if the person is better with humans. And because they are humans, preconceived notions in our head, even though judges are trained heavily to go ahead and get rid of those preconceived notions, there's preconceived notions in everybody's head as to whether or not, as a claimant, you can work a full-time job. So that's kind of my quick summary. I can go into it with more detail. I did like in-person hearings. Now that I'm not doing in-person hearings, it's not the end of the world for me. There's something about in-person hearings. When you can read the body language of the claimant, you know when they're waiting to say something extra. You know when they're trying to find the right words. When you're on the telephone, you don't see all those body gestures. You don't see all the little details that can really help out with a hearing, which has made it so much more important for me to run questions with claimants ahead of time, because I am then blind to those seeing the person in the hearing details. The big thing with that is that, when I look at it and I think about it, the things that I have to go over these hearing questions with people multiple times. I had one claimant where I went over the hearing questions with her, 4 or 5 times, and then at the end of the hearing, we were all shocked with the answers she gave. And then bottom line was, the thing was, why didn't you go over more with this person, with this claimant? And my response was, it was 2 to 3 times more than I do with other people. And they were long sessions, like hour-long session, hour-long session, hour-long session, hour-long session. And I guess my point is this. Obviously, different individuals need more time. But knowing the little quirks of when the claimant is confused, when the claimant is, trying to push too hard with their excitement and give too much, knowing when the claimant is about to start crying heavily or emotionally go into an anxiety attack or a panic attack, knowing when the claimant is about to do these things is crucial, because it is the attorney's job to guide the testimony of that claimant so that the judge realizes, this person probably could not do a basic job. So anyways, guys, my name is Attorney Walter Knott, Disability Resolution PA. 8 to 10 p.m. every Thursday, I go live Eastern Standard on YouTube. With that said, call me during that time. I go live 8 to 10 on Thursday, every Thursday, and the bottom line is that's when I donate 2 hours. If you want to catch up with me with law firm stuff, that's fine, but for this stuff, YouTube stuff, because this isn't my job, this isn't my 9 to 5. For this stuff, catch up with me from 8 to 10, and you can always ask me your questions then. All right? Have an absolutely wonderful day. I'll catch you a little bit later, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.